I'm Barry Wartell from KTOE and Radio Mankato. Welcome to the renovated Franklin Rogers Park. Impressions?
You can say cloudy, I'd be okay with that.
A baseball insider said today, you have the third best ballpark in Minnesota. Target Field is number 1. He said the St. Paul Saints Stadium is number 2. And we have the third best park, Franklin Rogers Park. Thank you, City. Thank you, Linda. We'll start our program with the ribbon cutting ceremony, the Mankato Open Access.
Thank you, Barry. The Mankato ambassadors are very privileged and thrilled to be part of this exciting opportunity tonight. It isn't often that we get to open and be part of such a great, thank you. I have to have the radio guy show me where we're going. It's not often that we get to be part of a great ceremony like this. Watching this come together the last few weeks especially has been just amazing. And the ambassadors are here. We are the representatives from the Greater Mankato Grove. And we have the privilege of welcoming new and expanding things to Mankato. And the Franklin Rogers Park couldn't be more amazing than when we're standing in this evening. We are going to cut the ribbon. And before we do that, though, we're going to present this certificate to the mayor. And this says, the Greater Mankato Grove ambassadors congratulate Franklin Rogers Park. The Greater Mankato ambassadors and staff of Greater Mankato Grove congratulate you on your grand opening. May the confidence shown in our community and its vitality reward you a lifetime of success. Congratulations, Mayor.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Let's hear more about how Franklin Rogers Park came to be. This is a beautiful park, obviously. Our leadoff batter, Mankato Mayor Eric Anderson. Eric?
Thank you, Barry. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to recognize other members of my council. There's Karen Foreman, Dennis Deacon, and Trudy Kunkel. And I know I'm speaking for the others that are not here this evening, Mike Levin, Mark Frost, and Jen Melby Kelly. And we tell you it's our pleasure to see this come to fruition. We were approached about this project, and City Manager Pat Hentges will give you a little background on it, some time ago. And it took a partnership with the Moondogs coming forward, the ownership change, and also some other willing partners, Bethany College, and several others here to kind of bring this full circle. And as a lifelong Mankato area resident, I think a lot of people here can relate to this. This has been a staple in our community going back, nearly 60 years. And it was really a privilege to be part of a process where we could continue, I think, what this was always intended to be, which was a great place to come up and watch a ball game. And a great place for people to play that ball game. And I think fitting that we're here on the eve of Memorial Day, the weekend, the kickoff of summer. And you have two adages, I think, that are famous in baseball. This is the unofficial kickoff of summer, and the boys of summer will be taking the field. And also, this is America's pastime. This is America's great game, is baseball. And how fitting as we pay homage to our veterans on Monday to think about a summer ahead where you can come out, grab a hot dog, grab a refreshment, and sit back and watch some good baseball. So this is really great. I think it's great for our area, for our town, and we're just pleased as punch to see this come to fruition. So thank you.
Batting second, City Manager, Pat Hentges. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you. First of all, I'm going to start off and acknowledge a lot of people that put this thing together. This afternoon, within about an hour ago, we were still completing it. In fact, we had people out in the left field finishing off the batting cage areas. There's a lot of work to be done. But the contractors really should be acknowledged on this. We got a late start in fall. We got a late start in spring. Past month we did a lot of work. Web Construction should have a round of applause. They were the general contractor, did a lot of the piecework on this project. They had a great group of subs that worked hard. And they really, without their hard effort, we couldn't have got this done on time. The other important contractor to mention is DMI, Dirt Merchants. And that crew had done all the prep work, had to do a final work after the snow left in April, and then came in necessary to have the AstroTurf people come in. I want to point out the AstroTurf people worked 14 days straight, basically putting this carpet down. And I would also point out that Jeff Johnson, our Public Works Director, and ISG did a good job of evaluating the turf and coming up with really the best value. And we're very excited to have one of the best products in the market. I want to also point out to ISG, Chad Supernut and their team really did the design work on here. And I think you can conclude it's not missing much within the budget that we have. There's a lot of things yet to be done with the project. We do have the capabilities of increasing the old dog pound there in terms of both kind of a casual seating area, but we have the ability to bring in some significant seating if we have a large tournament or a playoff game or potentially some type of state tournament in the future. So we'll eventually be able to increase the seating. The other thing with the design out here is out in the right field area, there's a big, large mound that berm that will be kind of a family-friendly area. That probably won't take shape till next year. It's the end, but we got to get the grass established. And then there's a variety of other things. For us old geezers, I always get criticized in the Ask Us column about handrails. And we will have some handrails be put in. We'll do some topping of the concrete in the seating area. So we expect that to be done in the next year, depending on the disruption. And then, of course, we're going to improve the grounds area and the parking, which will come in a second phase. So, we essentially had a great lineup of contractors that really pushed to get this done, bringing it on time. Great design. A couple other points that I want to really emphasize is Greater Mankato growth. David Wittenberg's here. I know Jonathan Zert couldn't be here. Angie Basham may or may not be here. We also have Patrick Baker. They were critical in lobbying for the extension of the sales tax that we had the opportunity to have this be one of the first projects. And the council was very adamant that this project be an important project. It's Franklin Rogers, it's slowly become good attendance and a lot of community asset, and we wanted to make sure that that came together. Which brings us to the Moondogs, and I think that's important to note. This isn't, the $4 million included about a $900,000 contribution on the Moondog to finish up some of their concession areas, the scoreboard that you see out there, the assist in some of the finishes in the locker rooms and such. So there's a significant amount of private partnership. And the council and the citizens, you citizens, approved the local option sales tax extension. It was important to note that we'll have partnerships. So it took the sales tax dollars and extended it longer. And really this serves as a model for future sales tax projects in recreation and other areas. A couple of other things that I'll conclude with is the Moondogs. The other thing besides that $900,000, they pay some $30,000 a year in actual lease of this facility that helps us keep the lights, keep the carpeting clean out here, those types of things. And so that's very important. Then finally, this last partnership that I'll point out is Bethany. Bethany, I've got a little flat bill hat on here, and that's important to note that Bethany is another partner. Bethany has a lease on this facility during the spring months, and that lease will become their home field. I think Art will talk a little bit more about that later. But with that, and I don't want to point out that we haven't thought about leaving out Iowa, they are going to have a preference in terms of ability to schedule their games. West, they're probably here, but Ethan and his team, they're going to have an ability to schedule here. So this is their home field, and it's West's home field. So this is, I think, a tremendous asset. And then finally, that brings me to Mabel. And Mabel was an important partner all along over the years in improving this facility. And Mabel, I hope that the young people that are here playing tonight, the Mabel people and the parents, can really appreciate that this will be a field for them. There will be a field that they will be able to work their games in. With this type of field, we get more playable innings than we can ever have because of the drainage, the capabilities. So this is a tremendous opportunity for baseball in this community, at least from my perspective. And I think we're going to have a good asset here that the community can be proud of, and the state, very frankly, will pick up and get notice of this.
Thank you. Thank you, Pat Henches. Batting third from Mankato. Played on this field, played against Bob Scott in the late 80s. And now he owns one of the owners for the Moondogs, Chad Serpenine. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time since I batted third. First off, before I forget, I just got to say a huge thank you to everybody the last several weeks here. It doesn't matter if it's been volunteers, city staff, contractors, all kinds of people, friends, family, coming in here, digging in, making things happen, make this ballpark happen for tonight. It's been incredible to watch the community come together and make it all happen. I'm kind of in a unique spot. I probably wear more hats at this one here than anybody else. Shelly Schultz from the city of Mankato was reminding me of how many hats are you involved in on this thing. So I'm going to start chronologically, and don't worry, I'm not going to take too long. Grew up on North 5th Street, right down below the hill. So I came in here as a son. My dad loved baseball, so come up here and play ball. First time I had a baseball game that I wasn't actually just breaking into the ballpark. Broke into the ballpark in 1978, played in 1983 through 88, probably played 100 plus games here. Ballpark always meant an awful lot to me. Then moved forward, get to work for a great company, ISG. They don't let me design very much anymore, but I had to get my fingers involved in this one, so there's a little bit of my involvement on this part. So I got to design a little bit. Kind of crazy circumstances as we were presenting the design to the prior owners of the Moondogs. Guy came up to me, prior owner Mark Ogren, good guy, said, you know, it seems like you're very passionate about baseball. He said, you want to buy the Moondogs? My immediate response was no. And then a friend of mine came up and said, hey, I know you've been contacted, I have too, let's go 50-50 on this thing. And I looked at who my partner was and I said, no, still no. And he's a great guy, Kyle Smith, he's fantastic. But what both of us had going on, which is really crazy, hectic schedules with our businesses, and we ultimately both knew that we couldn't make this thing happen on our own. So the Northwoods League came to us, and they said, you know what, we know what your concern is. You want somebody to be able to operate this thing. We've got a fantastic operator at the Lacrosse Loggers Ball Club. They want to expand their ownership a little bit. So they came over and took a minority piece of the club, and they effectively are managing the club for us. And so they're doing a fantastic job. We honestly couldn't do it without them. A couple more roles that I've got, particularly as it comes out tonight. I get to be a father, so I'm coaching the 13 AAA team. My son Caleb is playing, so that makes it a pretty special night. And I think that's about all I got. My mom's here, so everybody clap for my mom. Thanks everybody for showing up. Greatly appreciate it.
Batting fourth. Gosh, the Bear made the big screen. I love it. From Bethany, two of my highlights this year: Bethany NCAA basketball, we won in St. John's, and Bethany baseball in the NCAA. What an opportunity! And now Bethany, a big partner of Franklin Rogers Park. Art Westfall from Bethany.
Thank you, Barry. It's certainly a pleasure to be here representing Bethany College. I have to admit, when I attended Bethany, we played here as well. Obviously, that was a few years ago. Then when I was fortunate enough to come back to Mankato in 1985, as we started the baseball program at Bethany, we played here for 3 years. And for those of us that have been around a while, remember the outfield fence at that time was built with planks, and we had to caution our outfielders not to get too close because typically there were nails coming out of the planks, and so it's quite different to see the facility today. And it's going to be a great boost for our program to be able to call this our home field, and we're very grateful for that opportunity. The other thing that's been very important is that the Bethany baseball program was built around Mankato players. Players that came through the Mankato Area Baseball Association that played for the Royals. I know personally I was fortunate enough to coach over 30 of those guys, and they were the ones that laid the groundwork for the baseball program at Bethany. That first year we had 5 starters that had gone through the youth baseball program here at Bethany. And so there's been a long-standing tradition that baseball, the better baseball is in Mankato, the better Bethany is. And so we look forward someday to some of these guys that are going to play tonight wearing red and white at Bethany. I want to congratulate the ownership and the city of Mankato on really putting just an unbelievable facility here for all of us to enjoy. I think I'm still going to get an opportunity maybe to umpire a game here or two. And then I want to thank the city and the ownership for investing in our youth and providing this kind of opportunity for our young people to grow in baseball and to become a place of destination for baseball in southern Minnesota. Thanks to all of you for coming tonight.
Next up, Al Kiefer from Mankato Youth Baseball. And over the years, you think of the folks that have run MAVA, guys like Lefty Hafner, and Bob Irwin, and Neil Kaus, and Renee Mays, and Al Kiefer. Al?
Thank you, thank you. What a great night. You know, in running MAVA, it's been a kind of a labor of love for me, but people ask, we have a very successful program, and they say, you know, how do you do it? And really it's the people that have come before us that have made this program. This park really started with Chad and his father Ken playing ball in this park, and it's lived on through Chad now in making this come true. One of our flag raisers tonight is Bob Irwin. Bob ran our MAVA program for years. He ran our VFW program. So it's really gentlemen like that that have made this program what it is. We're going to have over 1,000 kids playing baseball in Mankato this summer. We probably have 90 teams playing. Thank you. again, I would just want to thank the city and the Moondogs. It's been a great partnership. It's one of those great public-private partnerships that when it comes together, you get a field like this. MABA gets to reap the benefits of this field. Our players from both teams here, this is a night they'll remember forever. So a big thank you to everyone, and I'm going to turn it back over to Barry.
Thank you, Al. And now, the American Legion Post 11 Color Guard. And the VFW Post 950, raising our flag, Dave Overly and Bob Irwin.